Hi and welcome or welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. So it is December 5th today, Monday December 5th, and this is the start of my December weekly reading vlogs that I'm going to do for the rest of the month. I don't do weekly reading vlogs every week anymore. I just don't want the pressure of doing them every single week at the moment. And honestly, my life isn't that interesting week by week. I am mainly just working from home, so there's not that much really to talk about. However, I thought for a couple of reasons it would be quite cool to do weekly reading vlogs for December. Obviously, the first reason being is it's Christmas this month. I celebrate Christmas. And I thought it'd be nice to have like Christmassy, wintry vlogs for that kind of festive season because I like watching those kind of videos, so I thought maybe you guys would too. So I did put a poll up on Instagram to ask, and everyone who voted said yes, they would like weekly reading vlogs. So here we are. And the other reason being, I am trying to finish my Goodreads goal for the year. I'm trying to complete it. I need to read 150 books if I want to. And I'm on 127 right now, so it's going to be quite a feat if I do manage to do it. I need to read another 23 books this month, so which won't quite be the most books I've ever read. The most books I've ever read in a month was 24, and that was in June last year. However, it will be pretty darn close. So I thought it'd be interesting to see in these vlogs whether I can achieve that, and obviously I am trying to push myself to read more to achieve that, so hopefully I will have a lot of books to talk about as well. So I'm currently reading 3 books. I'm going to be talking about 2 of them because one of them is a Harper Collins book, and I'm still trying to be quite aware, although I think I did miss that in my TBR video for December. I'm still trying to be very aware of discussing Harper Collins books because the Harper Collins team in New York City are currently on strike, and I am supporting them in any way I can, and that is basically not publicising the books without talking about the strike. Please still buy the books, please still support authors, please still support bookshops, but the only way that we can really make a stand is by refusing to talk right now about books, and please amplify the strike instead. So that is kind of what I'm doing. But honestly, the Harper book I'm reading at the moment is going completely over my head and I don't even know what I would say about it. I'm listening to it on audio and just like, I'm over halfway through and it's just gone. So I'm sure you'll hear my thoughts and feelings at some point, but honestly, the team has been striking for over, I think Friday might have been their 16th day. Like, how is this still going on? How has Harper not brought anything to the bargaining table at this point? It is beyond me. I will link more information down below because I already have talked about this at length in one of my other vlogs. I will link the union links below so you can have a look into it yourself. Donate to the strike fund if you can. If you're overseas like me, there is somebody who will act as a steward for you. You can PayPal them money because we don't have Venmo and we can't send checks overseas, I presume. So I did PayPal some money over to support the strike fund, but there's other ways you can support them as well, just by amplifying what's going on, following them on social media, following what they're doing, and emailing HarperCollins as well. But anyway, quick shout out to the people on a strike, including my friend Sophie over there at the moment. But the other books I'm reading at the moment are both Penguin books. The first one being Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper. I'm really enjoying this one. I'm 100 pages-ish from the end, and yeah, it's so much fun. Very much like The X-Hex by Erin Sterling, which I read last year and really enjoyed as well. I don't think I'm enjoying this one quite as much as I did The X-Hex, but I am enjoying it all the same. It's following a woman called Emmy who has moved away from this witchy town. She's a witch, and I think a lot of the people in the town seem to be, who live there. It's like a witchy town. She's moved away because of something that happened with her ex-boyfriend. She goes back because she's been asked to kind of like host this event thing where people, well, witches are competing in this kind of trial, and I think it happens every year. So she's gone back to help out with that and host that, kind of like be the face, well not the face of it, but the announcer for the like events and stuff. And she basically immediately bumps into her ex-boyfriend, but also is kind of taken in by this woman who's not necessarily like an enemy, but is somebody she'd never really considered like a friend before. She's like known her whole life, but there's never really been anything more than that. But she's basically approached by this person that she knows to ask if she wants to get revenge on her ex-boyfriend. Her best friend also wants her to get revenge and wants them both all to get revenge on her ex-boyfriend Gareth, because she also went out with Gareth and he was a dick to her too. So these three women basically all think that Gareth Blackmore, yes, Gareth Blackmore, is an arsehole and want to get revenge. That's the plot of this book. There's also a budding romance between two of the women. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Love the atmosphere. I feel like I'm more invested in like the romance and stuff and the personal side of like what happened to Emmy and why she went from the town in the first place than I am like the plot of what is kind of going on in town. It just kind of, I don't really care that much, and it feels like it really doesn't come up that much in the story at all. Which is fine because I prefer learning about her relationship, her family, the town, and why she kind of like escaped the town. I do wish I could picture this a little bit better, like I can, but I want more of like a visual side of it. There was like a page and a half of like all the shops and stuff recently, like not far from where I am now, just like a couple of pages ago. There was like a couple of pages about the town and some of the shops and stuff, which I like, but I can't quite picture it, which I feel like in the XX I really could. And I don't want to compare the two, but I can't help it because they are quite similar in a lot of ways. But yeah, I am enjoying this. It won't be a 5-star read, but it is fun. And I like the romance. But anyway, also reading Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I am buddy reading this with my friend Jeff, and we are only a couple of chapters in at the moment. We are 35 chapters in. We basically just like one of us will read a couple of chapters and then tell the other one, and the other one catches up. So I read a couple of chapters as I'm here, and then Jeff caught up as well, and then we just kind of chat as we go about how we're finding the book, and both of us enjoying it so far. So this one goes right into the mystery and I'm intrigued to see where it's going to go. This one is following a guy called, what is his name? Ryland, who is the sole survivor. He basically wakes up in this like mysterious room and he doesn't know where he is, and he starts having flashbacks to his life on Earth, and he's trying to find out at this point like whether he's on Earth or not. And we honestly, like the first 2 chapters, there is things at the end of each chapter, like the last sentence, to keep you wanting to read on. And I'm also finding this quite funny as well. I really like the writing style. I did read The Martian many years ago and I did enjoy that too. But yeah, intrigued to see where this one goes. I am like along for the ride. Jeff is already trying to figure out what's going on, and has some theories already. And yeah, need to carry on reading some of this at some point because I did really like the first 2 chapters. The writing style was quite quick as well. The chapters aren't super long, so just another like chapter or 2 I might try and read in the next few days, but that's that one. So yeah, currently reading 3 books, including these 2, and we will see where the week takes us. Hi, it's Wednesday. It's so cold today. Like my hands are red because they're so cold. I have just been out for a quick walk on my lunch break because although it's cold, it's an absolutely beautiful day and it's like really frosty and the sky's been really clear. It's a very wintry day. I feel a little bit festive, which is nice. I've got this blanket because yeah, it's so cold. So I just went out for a little walk, which I did take some video of, so you will have seen this. You will have seen how beautiful today has been. And I'm on my lunch break, although it's a very late lunch break. I only have an hour and a half left of my day when I go back, which is nice. Anyway, you don't want to hear about work. You want to hear about the books I'm reading. Hopefully that is why you're here. I actually have finished a couple of books since I last spoke to you. I finished 2 books yesterday. I finished the one that I'm not talking about, which never really got better for me personally. It's one of those books where I feel like it could be me in this case because I listened to the audiobook, and I did listen to the audiobook while I was working, and I do struggle to focus, and I feel like maybe if I'd have read this physically I would have enjoyed it more. Because right now it is like definitely no more than a 3-star, like probably more like 2.5, but it definitely could be me. Like, I'm not gonna get rid of the book when I usually would if it was like that low of a rating, because I feel like at some point I would like to read it physically and give it another shot, because, and even like just rereading it might help, because it just completely went over my head. But the author is incredibly popular and I do have another book of theirs that I want to read and I've heard really good things about. So yeah, I'm not sure whether it's me or whether it's the book, but like personally I just felt it was very all over the place, and there was just so many sections that I couldn't follow it all the time. But it could be the fact I listened to it on audio. But anyway, I also finished Payback's a Witch, which I really liked. I didn't enjoy it quite as much as the XX, which, like I said, I shouldn't be comparing them, but there was just a few things in here that I didn't love as much. Like, I didn't enjoy or feel as involved in the plot as I wanted to, and I felt like the atmosphere could have done with a little bit more at some points. Like, there was great atmosphere in here, it just was a bit few and far between with how atmospheric it was, and I wanted a little bit more from it. But overall I did enjoy this. It was fun, I really liked the relationship, and it was like, it would be great for Halloween. I'm just so late in reading it that it's not Halloween right now. But it was like, it did have that kind of like Halloween feel and atmosphere. So yeah, I did enjoy it. It was fun, it was entertaining. I liked the romance a lot and the friendships, but it wasn't amazing. Like, this is probably going to be a 3.5 star, I imagine. And yeah, I would recommend it, but also I would probably recommend the XX more if you were going to pick between them, basically. But I did still like it. I've also read another chapter of Project Hail Mary, and Jeff has as well. We are both still enjoying this one, so we've only read the first 3 chapters, which is 54 pages so far. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I feel like this does non-linear quite well in terms of its flashing back to when he was on Earth, and flashing, well, it's like set where he is now and then flashing back to like life on Earth. And also, like, every chapter seems to end on a cliffhanger, just as like a small thing, but like, I don't know how long the author's going to be able to keep that up for, because it feels like every chapter, like the first 3 chapters have ended on something, and it feels like a bit of a trend. But yeah, that is really cool. Also, like Jeff said, the scientific language in this is quite similar to The Martian, but it is quite easy to follow. Like, it doesn't feel daunting, which I think Andy Weir does really well, and I found that with The Martian as well, that like the scientific side of it feels quite realistic, but it is quite complex and uses a lot of words that are quite like explained quite well in the writing. I also personally think this is really funny, and it does make me chuckle a lot, and I don't remember The Martian being funny, but I've heard a few other people saying that it is, so I think maybe I just don't remember it being that funny, but it has made me chuckle a few times as well. But yeah, looking forward to continuing with this one and seeing where it goes, and we are both enjoying it so far. I also started another book, which is The Heartbreak Bakery by A.R. Kafisser, which I've wanted to read for a while, and the audiobook of this is on Zigzagged, so I'm listening to it on Zigzagged, which I find it a lot easier to focus on like these kind of books, like contemporary romance, when I'm working, and I find I don't have to pay as much attention to them, so it's definitely a better one to listen to. And I just listened to a chapter while I was out for a walk as well, which is really nice. And yeah, I'm loving this one so far. It's so good, it's so cute. I'm this far through, so a quarter of the way through at the moment. And I will read you the synopsis because I haven't said it in this video, and it is just absolutely brilliant synopsis in my opinion. It says, Sid, no pronouns please, has always dealt with the big, hard to talk about things by baking. Being dumped is no different, except now Sid is working in the kitchen of the Proud Muffin, a queer bakery and community space in Austin. And everyone who eats Sid's breakup brownies breaks up. Even Vin and Alec, who own the Proud Muffin, and their breakup might take the bakery down with it. Being dumped is one thing, causing ripples of queer heartbreak is another. But the Proud Muffin's cute bite delivery person, Harley, who is he or they, check the pronoun pin on the messenger bag, is the first person to really believe in Sid's magical baking, not to mention the first person to see that Sid is an agender cupcake. And together, Sid and Harley are going to fix these romantic disasters caused by those brownies, one recipe at a time. Yeah, this is so cute. It's so queer, and I just love the way that it's talking about identity and gender and things like that. It's just so lovely, and I feel like it's going to be so heartwarming, and I know my friend B read this recently and they absolutely loved it as well. I love this design. The cover is just absolutely beautiful. I have been following Corey McCarthy and A.L. Capita for a while, and if you want, like, there is no cuter author queer couple on social media. Their Instagrams are so lovely, and I love seeing both of them and their family on Instagram, basically. They're so cute. But anyway, enjoying this so far. Glad that I am reading it. I feel like it's what I need right now, is like a cozy queer romance. I think that's really, really sweet. And also, being an ex-baker, well, ex-professional baker, used to work in a bakery, I feel like this is perfect for me, and it's nice to have that feeling. And there was a comment just now in the book about fondant, and I just thought it was just spot on. Honestly, it was like how much of a faff fondant is, and I completely agree with it. Anyway, I really should go because I've been talking for ages, but I'm also going to start The Other Ones by Fran Hart. I've been really looking forward to reading this one. Unsurprisingly, when you look at the book, it's been on my TBR for a few months. I was meant to read this in October, but I'm finally getting through that TBR, and I'm looking forward to starting this one because I've had a few people that I watch on BookTube. Amy McCall has read it and really liked it, and Spoopy Hull also read it and really liked it, so looking forward to joining the crowd because I'm sure I'm going to love it too, and I think it's going to be quite an easy read as well. This is about a friendship group who are haunted, I think. So it says, Sal hates standing out, but he lives in a haunted house and everyone knows it. His oldest friend Dirk tries to help, but he wants to stay popular and Sal isn't helping. Elise was popular until recently. Now she's at the outcast table too, and she doesn't want to talk about it. And then there's the new boy Pax, who won't leave Sal alone. His idea of a good time is hanging out in graveyards, and for some reason Sal just can't stay away. Meet the other ones, can they banish their ghosts together? And it says queer friendship mystery. It's been likened to Pumpkinheads and Heartstopper, I think, so I feel like this is going to be very cute. Anyway, I'm going to go now before I hit the 10-minute mark. I've been talking for 10 minutes now, so gonna leave you be and update you soon. Hi, it's now Friday and I've finished a book today. I actually finished The Heartbreak Bakery by A.L. Capita, which I really loved. This was so cute. I was listening to the audiobook of it and I had probably like 4 hours left this morning, maybe 3.5 hours left. And I started listening to it while I was doing some like more mindless tasks at work, and I ended up listening to the rest of the whole book because it was just so cute and I just wanted to see what was going to happen, and I really enjoyed it. Really loved all the discussions of baking in here and I felt like I really related to them. I loved all of the discussions of gender and of sexuality. I thought they were all handled really well. It was so inclusive. There was even a character that was using ASL in here, which was really cool to see, and it's just something you don't really see a lot of in books, so that was really cool. And yeah, there was just so much I just loved about this book. It was really cozy, it was really heartwarming, I loved all the characters and the romance. And yeah, I'm just really glad I picked it up. The audiobook was great as well. Couldn't fault the audiobook, it was really easy to follow. I liked the narrator. So yeah, there was just a lot to love about this book. If it sounds like something you'd like, please go and pick it up. I love this cover as well. As soon as I saw that this was coming out, I knew I wanted to read it, and I'm glad I've got this beautiful edition. Anyway, yeah, 4.5 stars to this one. There's something about it that makes me, like, in my head it's a 5 and in my heart it isn't, if that makes sense. I feel like there is just 5-star books are like something you know in your heart, and I don't quite think it's a 5-star, but it's definitely a 4.5. I did really enjoy it. It was very sweet, and there's just so much to love about it. So yeah, Heartbreak Bakery, really loved. I'm also reading the other ones by Fran Hart, which I'm now nearly halfway. I'm 120 pages in and I'm really enjoying this book as well. This is so cute. I do wish I'd read it more at Halloween, but I just didn't have the time because this is very much set in autumn. It's also set in Britain, which I quite like. I didn't realise it was set in the UK. It's not really... You can't really tell, to be honest. It's quite ambiguous with where it's set because it's set in this small like village. But there's just been a few references or like choices of wording that I've thought, oh okay, it's set in the UK, but you wouldn't really know necessarily. But yeah, this is just really sweet. I can see why people are liking it to Alice Oseman and Heartstopper, because some of it does actually remind me of Alice's writing in their novels as well. So I feel like it can be definitely a liken to some of Alice's work. But yeah, this is just really sweet. The found family aspect of the friendship group is really sweet to read about because they are all so different and they've just ended up coming together, which I feel like always really makes that element of found family, is when they don't really fit together necessarily on paper, but they actually work together and they're all quite different. But they get on. I feel like that's like the found family element to it, which is just really sweet. And I think there's going to be a romance in here, which is really cute as well. It's just really cozy. And there's also this like underlying mystery with Sal's house, who like his house is meant to be haunted. So the like one of the plot points of the book is basically what's going on with his house, which I feel like it's quite cool because it's not all about just like the friendship and what's going on in the friendship group, but there's also like, is something going on with the house, which I kind of hope it is because I feel like it adds quite a cool undertone to the story as well. So yeah, queer friendship mystery. A good summary there, Chicken House books. This is really cute. And yeah, I'm just under halfway through, so I reckon I'll probably finish this tomorrow because I'm sprinting with Alex tomorrow. And it's such a quick read as well, like the font is quite big, and I just like, I lay in the bath for an hour last night and read 70 pages of it in one go, so I feel like if I could read a little bit more today and tomorrow, I might actually manage to finish this tomorrow, which would be nice. And then there's only 2 more books on my December TBR, which I'm doing really well. It's the 9th of December and I feel like this is what I need to catch up. So yeah, there's only 2 more books I actually officially added to my December TBR, and then there is a list of other stuff that I would like to get to and need to get to if I'm going to finish my Goodreads goal. I'm still 20 books away now, so I'm 130 out of 150. And I'm 10 books behind schedule, which is slightly better than I was because I was like 13 books behind schedule a few weeks ago. So, you know, we're getting there, just very slowly. Can I do it in 20 days? That is a book a day. We'll see. We'll see whether I can do it. Hi, it's Sunday evening and I'm here to wrap up this vlog. I have actually just managed to finish another book for this vlog, so I finished the other ones by Fran Hart. I was kind of hoping to finish this yesterday, but me and Alex didn't end up streaming and sprinting like we were planning to because Alex has got a cold. I hope you feel better soon, Alex. But yes, we didn't end up sprinting, so I didn't read anything really last night like I was hoping to, but I did get some like Christmassy stuff done and did some baking, which was really nice. But I did manage to sit down and read 100 pages of this tonight after work. like, which is quite good for me. I don't tend to read that much, like unless I have a bath. I don't tend to just like sit after work and read, so I was pretty happy with that and I finished it. This was really, really sweet. It is not like a 5-star, but honestly I feel like it's been ages since I've had a 5-star read, so maybe I'm just really picky. But there was just a lot to really like about this book. It was very cozy, like I like the found family element to it. I like the setting. It was very autumnal, like I wish I had read this in October like I'd planned to originally. I like the relationship, and also like there was a nice mystery element to it. I feel like maybe could have done with a little bit more emphasis at times, but the mystery element actually turned out to be something kind of sad, but also kind of like heartwarming that it touched upon that as a subject, and I felt like it was handled quite well. I won't really say anything else because I don't want to get into spoilers, and I could very easily get into spoilers, but yeah, I did really enjoy it still. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 stars. I definitely think the pitch of like a Pumpkinhead's Heartstopper Alice Oseman type found family story with some kind of spookiness and yeah, like mystery element to it is a great pitch for this book. It definitely works, and it has some really lovely characters in there as well. Love this edition too, so yeah, I did enjoy reading this one. I don't think I've read any more of Project Hail Mary since I last spoke to you, so I don't think I have any updates in regards to that. And also this week I did finish the Heart Rate Bakery, and the next one I'm going to dive into is The Taking of Jake Livingstone by Ryan Douglas. This was also on my October, I think, TBR, so I'm 2 months behind reading this now, but I am going to get to it as my next physical read. It is actually only 250 pages long, so this really shouldn't take me very long to read, although the text is actually quite tiny considering, so I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to diving into this one. I feel like it could be quite a quick read, but we will find out. But if you want to find out my thoughts and feelings on this, look out for my next vlog, because it's Sunday night now. I will be starting vlogging again tomorrow, all being well, and doing a second full week of December vlog. Can't believe it's 2 weeks till Christmas right now. It's crazy, but honestly I've had quite a festive weekend. I watched Love Actually last night, I've wrapped some presents, and I watched a Hallmark movie on TV this afternoon, just because I had stuff in the background while I was working, because I've worked today, and then I ended up leaving on this Hallmark movie called Christmas Tree Lane, which was, you know, the cheesiest thing ever, but it was also kind of sweet. And we also had a little bit of snow this morning. I didn't take any video of it because it probably wouldn't have even picked up on video. It was like a coating of icing sugar, and it did go very quickly, so yeah, I did not take any video of it, but it was very nice and festive. And when I walked into the kitchen this morning and looked out the back window, I literally stood there and gasped because of the snow, because I did not expect it. But anyway, it's been a nice weekend despite only having 1 day off, and yeah, hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I will see you in the next one. Hopefully you will join me then, and for the rest of these in December. Promise I will get more festive as the weeks go on. I do want to start doing some more festive things, and I'm going to a Christmas market on Tuesday, so next week's vlog will hopefully be quite festive, so look forward to that, and I'll see you soon. Bye.